Welcome back to another exciting YouTube video. What we're going to talk about today is guitar picks. And you're going to say, why do I care about guitar picks? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Most people get a guitar pick and they probably pick up a pick and could be playing with the pick you started picking when you started picking. Over the years, as your guitar playing improves, your pick should also change as your style changes. Because obviously you're a much better guitar player, hopefully now, than you were when you started. Different picks are going to produce different sounds, and there's going to be a different way you approach the guitar. And this is something a lot of people don't think about. They just grab any old pick that they've been playing with forever and they continue to play with that pick, not thinking that a pick is an integral part of your guitar playing. A pick addresses how much attack is on a string, how much noise you get off your string. Certain picks you can play faster and smoother with, and you probably don't think about it in terms of that because you've probably been playing with the same type of pick you've been playing your whole life. People who generally play with big picks like this generally stay with big picks like this. I like big picks like this. This is what I played with for a long time, and then over the years I changed, and I'm going to explain why. And then we're going to finally end this video up on the pick that I use now, why I use it, and why I think it is the greatest pick in the world. So, big picks. They're big. Big picks are big. And there's a lot to hold on to. Give you a lot of grip, a lot of surface area. That's a good thing, especially for those who like to drop their picks. When I first started playing with picks, I played with just regular old celluloid type picks, kind of like this dude here. And these were cool. And actually, believe it or not, these picks actually have a very good tone to them. I'll show you what I mean. And these picks slide fantastically. Some of the best sliding you get in the world with these. The thing about these picks is, boy, after about 6 or 7 good slides, your picks are dead. And one of my favorite old picks I used to use, the old Fender ones, they look like a tortoise shell. I think those picks have some of the greatest tone out of any pick I've ever played. And there again, you're like, what do you mean tone? It doesn't make noise. That's where you're wrong. Your pick does make noise. And I'm going to go over that right here in a minute. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it over the mics. Granted, the variations are very subtle. But if you try this out at home, by yourself, or not by yourself, doesn't really matter. I promise you, you can hear the difference of the guitar picks. Obviously, you don't want to buy a bunch of the same guitar picks, because then you're kind of defeating the purpose. After playing with the old celluloid style Fender picks forever, and just going through dozens and dozens and dozens every time I played, I switched over to more of this. This is a Dunlop. This is not one of their tortoise picks. This is called the Altex. I like the Altex picks. They were clear, so I thought that was pretty cool. Little sticky, and honestly, what I do on these may gross you out, may not. I lick my finger. I lick my finger, and then I wet the pick. And when it dries, it makes the pick a little tackier. I really dug that about these. When you would first buy these, or for instance, when you'd buy these tortoiseshell type of things, this is a jazz version of it, they would come with this like powder stuff on them. So I'd take my picks, I would throw them in the washing machine with my clothes, and I'd wash them. It'd get all that film off of them because I hated that film. So then I went on to these picks, and I played these picks for a long time. These picks also slide, but not as good as the old celluloid picks. Those actually slide better. This one doesn't have as much bite. So, played with these for a long time because they lasted a lot longer, and they had a pretty good, pretty good feel to them. They had a pretty good feel to them. And I played with these for years, and then I noticed that some of my friends were playing with little bitty jazz picks. So I thought, man, I want to give that a try. Because one thing I always wrestled with is my right hand. And I got to thinking, well, this pick has so much surface area on it. And it drags across the strings. Now, I've got a very heavy distortion channel, and hopefully you can hear this. Well, yeah, you can definitely hear that. That's the sound this pick makes every time it crosses a string. Even when it's not muted, you can't hear it as well because of all the distortion in the volume. Well, actually you can. You can hear the scraping sound. Another thing that got me going is it just didn't have a lot of attack to it because there's so much surface area and it's so round on the tip. The bad thing about it is because it's bigger, you've got to move it further when you're jumping over strings. Now granted, we're talking nanometers here, but that makes a big difference when you're going for speed, precision, and everything else. Things that most people don't think about. And actually, I spent probably a year drifting through thousands of guitar picks trying to find one that suited me the best. So after playing with this, and as I started to become more aware of my playing and my tone and my sound, it actually got to a point that I could hear that when I was playing on the stage. I could hear that scraping, and it started to drive me crazy. And I would, when I could just hear that. When you're doing, little Jesse's Girl. I could hear that, just that pick grinding on that, or some little Bon Jovi on those muted sections. I could hear that. Now if I turn this all the way up, I've got a lot of delay and reverb, so it's going to mask some of that. But I could still hear it, and I can hear it here. And that started to drive me crazy. So I started thinking, okay, I want something with a faster attack, but something that has as much tone as this. Now, like I said before, this is one of the best tone picks I've ever heard. I don't know, we're going to see if we can pull this off. I don't know if we can over the mics, but we're going to see if you can actually hear a difference too. Let me go up and grab a different channel. Oh, hey, check it out. I forgot I had this on there from my old band. Cool. Not where I was going with that. Let's move on. Let's see. Right here, I believe, is my EV8. Oh, yeah. All right. So hopefully you can hear a difference here. I'm going to put this on the back pickup. See if it makes a difference. Oh, yeah. This one is a little warmer, and it has a little bit of a darker tone to it. And like I said, this is on the back pickup. This one's a little thinner sounding, actually. I'm surprised. I remember it being the opposite. A little thinner sound. Back to the Altex. Like I said, the tone difference is minute, but I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it through the mics. So anyway, on my quest for something that was a little sharper, a little more precise, but still had kind of a darker tone, not that bright slappy tone, I wanted to try out the Dunlop Jazz 3s, little black dude with the pointy tip. So I got into these, and I got to tell you, oh my God, it was hard getting adjusted to this pick. It was a nightmare. I spent 2 weeks, man, just trying to play anything, and I couldn't. Dude, I could not get it to connect to anything. I was all over the place because I was used to playing with such that anvil of a pick with such a big tip on it, such a big rounded tip. And so when I got to something so small and precise, I just could not hit the freaking strings. I had such a hard time finding the strings, and I was short picking and over picking and missing this and missing that, and they were just all over the place. But I was determined. So I kept on and kept on and kept on it. And then I noticed the tone sounds very similar to the Altex. Set that on the piano there. Maybe a touch brighter actually than the Altex. And that comes down to the material. This pick is made out of nylon. And like I said, I don't know what you can hear here. And you may not be able to hear anything. And you may just be watching this video and saying, dude, you're crazy as shit. I don't hear anything. I promise you, you can hear a difference when you go to a clean channel and you play. So I played with these for a long time. And the point of this video is not the different sounds of picks. It's just how I progressed through picks to what I consider the greatest pick in the world today. So I got onto these, and of course, let's jump back to some gain. Let's get a little bit of butt on this thing. So I noticed, can you hear that? Now let's move to this dude. Now let's turn it down. Not too bad. Actually a little worse with the Altex. The scraping. Let's try this again. Actually it's not, I'm sorry. You can hear the scraping as I take it across the strings. The Dunlop Jazz 3. The scraping went away significantly. Now a lot of that has to do with the fact that these are beveled edges on this pick. But that was a big plus for me because I hated that scraping sound. And you may not be able to hear it here, but there again, on my side, I hear it loud as day. It's like ringing a fucking bell in my head, that scraping. And like I say, it was just driving me crazy on shows. So noticing that, the tone was about the same as the Altex because I like the darker tones. So I got on the Jazz 3, and the first thing I noticed, like I said, is that the tone's good. It doesn't have that scrape sound. But it's got dead balls attack. That kind of messed with me a little bit because you don't, there's so much attack. Now granted, you can ease up on it. But it's unbelievably precise. Back to the Altex. That feels like more work because I'm having to push all that tip across and around that string. And so I kind of started running through different kind of Jazz Series picks. This is a thick pick. I like thick picks. The good thing about a thick pick is you do get a lot of attack. The thinner the pick, the thinner the sound of your guitar is going to be. If you do not believe me, get any pick in this world, buy the thin version, buy the heavy version, listen to the two, at how much more tone you're going to get out of a thick pick. Also, for speed, a thicker pick is necessity. You don't need a thin pick flopping around on you all over the place. It's impossible to do that with a thin pick. It does not work. Or it doesn't work for me anyway. Now I know Eddie Van Halen uses a medium pick. He's Eddie Van Halen. I'm not. No reason to even go down that road. So I jumped down into, I wanted to try something a little thinner. I jumped onto the Dunlop. And what I did is, if you notice, this one has a more rounded tip to it. It's not as pointy as the 3. This is, I believe, a Jazz 2. Yeah, this is a Jazz 2. So now that I found a smaller pick, because I like the size of it, I don't have as much real estate to hold, but for pick harmonics, it's just crazy easy with these picks. So I want to try something that was a little rounder, something that didn't have so much attack on it. Because as much as I like the Jazz 3s and as precise as they are, they've got a ton of attack. So I wanted to ease it up, but stay in this realm. This pick is not as stiff. Got a little more flexibility, but it's still a relatively hard pick. So speed should not be an issue. Definitely does not have as much attack. I mean, it's obvious to tell. Still moves pretty fast too. So I do like this pick. I have the small pick and I don't have as much attack. And it doesn't... I've got minimal string scrape. And I guess, honestly, that has to be out of the nylon, out of the material that this is made out of. But I do like the pick. I like the Jazz pick with the rounded tip. Of course, this has the beveled edges, which helps get rid of some of that scraping noise. Still pick slides pretty good. Jazz 3. Still pick slides pretty good. So, moving on from there, after playing with, I went back, even though I did like this, I ended up going back ultimately to the Jazz 3 because to me, I just liked the tone and the feel of it. Now, that could have just been me thinking I can hear a difference between the two. I think I can, and that's important because if I believe it sounds better, then that's going to make me want to play better. And that's like that with everything in the world. If you think that one thing makes you better at that, do that one thing. So, messing with this, I thought, you know what? I'm going to jump up to a bigger pick with a pointy edge. This is also a Dunlop. This is a Jazz 3 too, the XL series. Same everything as the little one. And as you can tell, quite a bit difference. So I hopped onto this dude. Still has all that attack on it. Ooh. But believe it or not, I have a very hard time playing with this pick. It is, I mean, that feels like I'm holding a boat oar in my hand. Now that I've played with the small ones, I have a hard time manipulating the big pick. And I know great guitar players that, dude, you could give them a screwdriver and it's not going to make a difference. It doesn't matter what they got in their pick hand, they're going to wail on it. I, however, am not that guy. So with this pick, when I jumped over to this, I really struggled because even though I had this sharp tip and I had the attack, just the size of the big pick just kind of, it baffled my brain. Tone-wise, it sounded exactly the same as the little Jazz 3, being as they're made exactly out of the same material. It's just a bigger pick, and it was harder for me to get accustomed to it. So that led me down the road again. I thought, okay, let's move on from there. Let's try, go back to a Jazz 3 size. Let's go to an Altex version pick. Let's turn it down a little bit. Got a little bit of the scrape. You can hear it. But these picks, as you know, so are the Jazz 3s, but these Altex picks are, I mean, they're rock solid. You can wear it well on these things, and it takes a while to wear these out. And they're purple. And they're purple. And they're purple. They're seriously cool. I love the color purple. They're cool. But the edges on these are not beveled. It is actually a flat edge all the way around, to where on the Jazz 3 picks, the edges are beveled to a point all the way around. This one is flat all the way around. So that does make a difference in how I attack the guitar. Again, it just doesn't feel as precise as the Jazz 3. So I kind of got in a conundrum here. I kept going back to my Jazz 3 with the beveled edges, small pick, with a tremendous amount of attack. So that's just kind of where I settled my playing style on. And I do like the pick. And the sound was actually pretty good. Let's go back to the purple one. This one actually has a little bit of a darker tone. It's a little bit of a smoother tone than the Jazz 3. Like I said, I don't know what you can hear on that side. So after going back to my Jazz 3 a thousand times, I stopped into this guitar store. Now, being that, you know, I'm a guitar player, I'm a metal guy. I like my things to look metal. I like my pretty blue guitar. This is about as metal as it looks, huh? So, okay, well, if you took all this off, you just went from here to here, and then took the blue off, it would be metal, damn it. So I do like my things to look metal and to sound metal. So I pop into this guitar store, a little bitty guitar store up in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm in there playing the Suhr guitars, actually. And I didn't have a pick on me, which is odd because I've always got picks on me because I have a keychain with a pick holder. But my pick holder had broke, so I had no picks in it. I just had a flap with no snap. And so I went and borrowed a pick from them, and of course I went straight to the Jazz 3s. And whenever I play a new guitar, I always check out the clean sounds. Because if it has really good clean sounds, chances are it's going to have good distortion sounds. And in my opinion, distortion is a little more shapeable than clean is. So I always mess around and move through the pickups and do the clean stuff. So, and I noticed, I'm talking to the guy and we're talking about guitar picks. And he brings out, he's like, hey, check out these new guitar picks. And I played them, and I've got one around here somewhere, dude. So, yeah, I do have one. Actually, I got a red one that's thicker than this. And you probably can't see it there, but this is substantially thicker than this Jazz 3. I have no idea what this is made out of besides ultra hard butt-ass plastic. It's, oh my God, this guitar, this pick is super bright. This thing was crazy bright, and I don't even know who makes this. I think this is a Dunlop also. But it was a very hard pick to play with because, I mean, it has no flex, and it was just so bright sounding. So I bought it so I could have it, but I'll never play with it. And it doesn't, it's got that grind on it. Even with the beveled edges, it's got that grind, because these are also beveled edges. And it is a cool looking pick. It is purple, and I do like purple. And it's see-through purple. I put the guitar down and cruising to the guitar store, and I come across the ugliest pick I've ever seen in my life. This thing is ugly. It is shit brown. It is the most un-metal pick I've ever seen in my life. So I tried it. And it is this pick right here. This is the Blue Chip Jazz 60. It is brown. It is ugly. It is hideous looking. Absolutely nothing cool about this pick. This pick is so damn ugly. If I was a guitar god, I would not sling this into the audience. And for multiple reasons. Let's see. Bag of, I don't know, shit. $5. $35. I shit you not. $35 for this guitar pick. So obviously that was intriguing as hell. So I was like, $35? Get the hell out of here, dude. I mean, maybe $10 I could see if it was something, amazing, but $35? Dude, the way I lose picks, fuck, it would cost me $1,000 a week just to play the damn things. And of course, the guy who owned the guitar store had a brilliant piece of advice. Don't lose it. What can you say after that? Just don't lose it. And I was like, okay, point taken. So I got this pick, and I went in and started tinkering with it. Let me go back to clean. And I noticed right off the bat, super dark, warm tone. And I was like, damn, that is so much better than the nylons, the tortoise shells, the plastics, the celluloid picks. It's like, oh my God. Listen to that. And it just had that unbelievably crazy warm tone. And I was dumbfounded. No shit. I was dumbfounded when I first got this thing. And I just thought, man, what a great tone this thing has. It just had such a warm tone. Okay, step 2, man, let's do a scrape test, because that's a big pain in my ass. That is one of my pet peeves. A little bit of distortion. Literally no scrape whatsoever. Impossible. How does somebody make a pick that has no scrape? I don't get it. So, I'm being mesmerized by this pick. And it's got a tip on it. It's not as dramatic as the Dunlops. Got a touch more relief on it, which I like, because it has a lot of attack, but it doesn't have that attack that the Dunlop has. That, oh my God, I'm mad at my fucking strings attack. It doesn't have that. And it doesn't have that. Now, the downside about this pick is it does not pick slide for shit. That is a bummer. But here's the cool thing about this pick. The dude on the website where this thing's made, which is in Tennessee, says that this is a self-lubricating polymer. Now, I don't know what the hell self-lubricating means. By any stretch of the imagination could I put that one together. But after playing it, I understand what he says. And until you play one, I cannot explain it. It literally slides across the string like the strings are oiled or your pick is oiled. I cannot explain how this feels going across the strings. It makes contact, but it is like a zero friction pick. You know anything about physics, obviously, two surfaces come together, friction, it's going to happen. I can literally feel the friction on this Dunlop. I can feel it grab the strings. I can feel it on this tortoise shell. And of course, a lot of that's because the edges aren't beveled. I can feel it on the celluloid. I can feel it on that. I can feel it on big ass purple plastic pick. Yeah, I can definitely feel it on that. But this damn thing's so thick. Jesus, man. You break your finger if you keep playing with that damn thing. But I feel absolutely no tension. Wrong word. No friction with this pick. It just literally glides off the strings. Here's the cool thing about this. I have been playing with this pick for 2 years. No wear. 2 years I've been playing with this pick, and it has no wear. That is amazing to me. That in itself is why it is, I guess, $35, because it is self-lubricating, which, hell, anything in this world self-lubricating is worth a bonus. But for the love of God, it does not wear out. That is a mystery to me. That one I cannot figure out. I've played so many shows with this freaking pick, it is not funny. And it has literally, I'm looking at the edge of the lights. I mean, if there's wear, it is absolutely minimal after 2 years. And I still pick slide with it, you know, because when we're doing some of the Van Halen stuff, now granted it doesn't slide good, as opposed to, that's a pick slide right there. That's what a pick slide is supposed to sound like. But on the flip side, you cannot see it obviously, but this thing is already divoted to hell and back. So this pick is quickly, 1 or 2 more songs, this pick's out of here. Does not slide. It's a little weak on the sliding, I got to admit. But regardless of that, it does not wear, and it feels phenomenal going across the strings. It has no scrapey sound, which is why it sucks at pick slides. And like I said, the self-lubricating thing, it's literally a frictionless pick. There's no bite, no grab onto the string. It doesn't have that forceful attack like the Dunlop Jazz 3 does, but it's got more attack than you want, and you can lay back on it because this thing will literally glide off of the strings. And it's just, I can't explain it until you play it. This thing is just freaking, it's phenomenal. It's just crazy how fast this thing is. And besides the fact, like I said, it's absolutely the ugliest damn pick I've ever seen in my life. Is it worth $35? You're damn straight it is. Just don't lose it. Get you a pick case, drop it in there. It's hideously ugly. It doesn't pick slide for shit. But if you can keep from losing it, probably last you the rest of your damn life. And I promise you will love this pick. It is crazy. I've never played a pick like this. Out of all the picks I've played, and this is just a small smattering of what I've played. Jesus, I've played thousands and thousands of picks. I would go into guitar stores, and especially the little one where I got this, they have all these exotic picks. I mean, they're made out of everything. They're made out of bone and copper and blah, 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 blah. And I played all of them. And after I played all those picks, and some of them are good, some of them are cool, I came back to the ugly brown pick. Why it's called blue chip? I don't know. It should be called cow pie because of the color. It's just, oh my God, it's so ugly. I wish he would make it in any color but this. Any color at all. I don't think it would be hard to make that in black, but maybe if you add dye, it stops the self-lubrication. I don't know. But if you could handle a god-awful ugly pick, this is the pick for you. The nice thing is they do make these in multiple sizes. This is the Jazz. Go to their website. I believe it's bluechip.com maybe. I'm not sure. You can order them directly from there. And apparently this guy really got, I guess his picks are really big amongst ukulele players, which is understandable because shit, those guys pick 1,000,000 miles an hour. To where, you know, we trill fast on our solos. Those guys do it the entire song. It never stops. It's never stops. So I understand why they would use this because I can honestly say, and this is going to sound stupid, and I know I'm going to take a punch in the face for it, I swear my hand doesn't feel like it gets as tired using this pick as it does the other picks. I feel like I can pick faster longer with this pick because it feels more effortless going across the strings. Go to their website, check it out, Blue Chip. This is not I don't know these guys from Adam. This is just my story of this dumbass guitar player popping into a guitar store and stumbling onto what I think is the world's greatest pick. Obviously, they don't give them to me because I got one of these great picks. And now my Dunlop 3s are good. I'm not going to bad talk them. But I've got a Crown Royal bag full of shitty picks right here. All the picks you could possibly want in the world. And all the picks I've bought over the years I didn't use. They end up in that Crown Royal bag. And it's kind of like a, where I've been. Kind of like postcard type of thing. This one will never go in the Crown Royal bag. So that in itself is the endorsement. Will never go in the Crown Royal bag. Blue Chip. That's it. Nothing else to say. Hopefully you liked the video. If you have a comment, put it in the comments section. If you have a question, put it in the comments section, not the questions section. This is a cool pick. I've got a lot of time on it. If there's anything you want to know about it, let me know. I do believe their website is bluechip.com. Do not hold me to that. There are a couple of guitar stores that I know of personally in Knoxville, Tennessee that do sell this. So I'm sure if Blue Chip doesn't have what you have, want or need or whatever, I'm sure you can get one from one of their dealers. Shouldn't be a problem. And try it out. It's seriously cool. Like I said, questions, comment section, comment section. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will do more stupid-ass videos on ugly brown picks. Well, probably not ugly brown picks, but probably things equally as ugly. Until then, have a good evening, good day, good night. Rock on.